My publicist sees this.
He's gonna love it.
He's gonna kill me. Okay.
The crazy thing is, you started at 7.
I always say that I started at 7 because that's kind of when my journey started, but I didn't get any jobs at 7, obviously, because that would be child labor. I often actually did it literally during high school, like on my phone during class. I would just text with some directors and get called out and screamed at by the teacher for being on my phone.
You're like, well, just reaching out to Hollywood, all good.
I mean, what are you doing over there?
What are you doing over there? You should do something better with your life, but all good.
I feel like networking often is a test. It's easy to just send an email, easy to just reach out and say, hey, I want to be a composer, hire me. But if you get emails from the same dude or dudess, a third year in a row, and they're still coming at you, I feel like after like 3 years, people are like, okay, either this dude is never gonna stop getting on my nerves, so I have to talk to them just to make him shut up, or they're actually like, they're serious about this, and I also should give them a shot because they seem determined.
When you're dreaming about your hobby being a profession, and once you made that transition happen, soon you realize that it's work. Yes, you love it, but it's a lot of work.
What I love about this job is that sometimes you do like little commercials where you do finger snap jingles with a ukulele and some whispers, and then you do super dark and gritty psycho thriller. The variation is kind of the key to that keeps me interested in this whole thing.
Welcome to Ambitchiously Intelligent. Tobias Alexander Ratka, a composer. Oh my God, we are so lucky. And you're in your studio. We love your studio, by the way.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you built it yourself. Am I right?
Define build it yourself. Because I mean the estate was there already. It's not like I built the whole brick wall thing.
Oh, I thought you built the house. No, I'm joking.
Listen. I have many talents, but building is none of them. I struggle with IKEA furniture.
Okay.
I even sometimes struggle with Legos, which is extremely embarrassing when you finish a set and then you notice, oh, the doors don't open, and then you have to redo everything. So my friends and family built the inside of the studio, and I watched them and cheered them on and was very grateful and bought them pizza. So.
Well done.
It's called supervision.
That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. But
can't do everything.
Back to you then.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, you started at 7. I mean, 7. What was I doing? I don't know. 7. That is amazing. What did it actually, like, your day-to-day look like? And were you just experimenting, or were you like already trying to compose something?
At 7?
Yeah.
So after I got home from kindergarten, no.
7 is not kindergarten. Oh, good.
Yeah, sorry. 7 is elementary school. Gosh, that's long ago. I mean, I always say that I started at 7 because that's kind of when my journey started. But I didn't get any jobs at 7, obviously, because that would be child labor. I discovered this program called GarageBand or GarageBand or however you pronounce it. It's basically a program, a DAW, where you can produce music, and I would just drag in these Apple loops and call it composing and create horrendous things and call it music, and my parents would pretend that it was amazing, and they're so proud of me.
Good parents.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad they did, because yeah, it lit a spark in me, but back then it wasn't very enjoyable, which is fine. I'm not shaming a 7-year-old child for having hobbies. Yeah, but so I would honestly, after I discovered this program and what you can do in it, I would spend almost all of my free time, experimenting in there, recording podcasts with friends and doing
Cool.
like little song experiments. And then as time went on, I discovered that I can not only use Apple loops, but I can also use like a MIDI keyboard and instruments to record myself. And then I also started writing my own melodies or copying or trying to rebuild like existing pieces of music. And that kind of had a snowball effect on my life. And now I'm here. So.
Wow, I love it. Talking about sound, may I ask you to go a little bit closer, get the mic a little bit closer?
Yeah, sure. I'm so sorry. Why didn't you say that earlier?
We're just saying it now because we want everyone to see this is so live.
This is so extremely live.
So live.
This is so extremely
If you
live.
hear my stomach growling, I'm so sorry.
And it's
We're
all
used to
about
it.
here. It's always all about starting before you're ready. It's exactly what we're for. So
That's horrible for me as a guest. That's scary.
welcome.
Amazing. I'm so excited to be here. Okay, no, let's. Okay. No, I'm very
As you
glad to
guys
be
can
here.
see, we're having a lot of fun. And I want to ask our viewers and guests to really, really hit that subscribe button because it means the world to us and helps us continue on this path and interview amazing creative artists in the film industry like Tobias. So, yeah.
And the others.
And the others. So, back to you.
Okay. Hit it. What's your first question? I'm ready.
You
I'm
mean
so
the
ready.
second question? Come on.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. See, I'm so
That
unprepared.
keeps getting better and better. I
If
love
my
it.
publicist sees this,
He's gonna
Jesus
love
Christ.
it. This is the most
Nah, he's
amazing.
gonna kill me.
No, this is amazing.
Hello,
Most
the publicist.
amazing interview ever because that's the thing. We are just it's raw. It's who we are. We're funny and stupid and crazy and whatever.
Amazing.
And
Love that.
that's where we create from. And so why not?
Yeah.
Sure, let's get started again, or keep doing whatever wherever we are in this interview.
I guess what you told us with the GarageBand experience, that's kind of like what like an average kid would discover video games. That was basically your experience with the GarageBand, and then you were like intuitively experimenting. What I'm wondering is, like a lot of people feel like they have to go through the music school, and you didn't study music in a formal way, from my understanding, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What made you trust kind of the alternative path instead? Did you even consider going, or did you all along knew that you wouldn't? That's not, the path for you.
I wouldn't call it trust. It was more like I hated being in school. I hated doing exams. I almost at one point quit high school, basically. And I felt like even in school, things that I enjoyed doing, I kind of lost passion for them because of school. And I'm not trying to bash the school system in general, but at least back when I was in school, it was still a bit dated. I don't know how it's nowadays,
I think it
but
still is. Sorry, let's just bash it.
no, yeah, probably, yeah, it sucks. No, but it's just I was due to the fact that I started quite young. I was lucky enough to have a basic understanding of everything you need, or of most things you need to start a career. And I don't know. I honestly, especially the last years in high school, they really turned me off this whole system. And I just didn't want to spend a single more day inside of such a building with professors and teachers and everything, and everybody's kind of like competing, but then also not, but then also they are, and I don't know. It was just such a weird vibe to me. So I figured I'd be happier without it, I guess.
That's true. My story, I was a gifted kid in terms of I could sing, but I never never even considered. We always went with my dad to like this park, and there was a karaoke, and I loved like singing the same song all over again, all the time. And then once this lady came and spoke to my father, and she was like from the music school, and said, your daughter has a lovely voice, so why wouldn't she go and try to, get admitted to the music school? And he was like, sure, why not? And that was the beginning of the hell for me, because the next year I was like struggling through those, like, it killed the spark. I never like followed that line. I never wanted to go back. Like I couldn't even, I think like I left, not even like I didn't complete the full year. I couldn't, like it was a disaster studying there. And it's exactly as you said, it's killing the vibe.
Yeah.
It's killing the vibe. How did you when proceed from, the GarageBand? What was your path step by step?
I'm going to answer that in a second. I'm just not entirely sure if the audio thing is it should be recording as the sound wave. I'm so sorry. What was the question again? This is raw. This is real.
This is raw. This is
real.
We're
having technical issues and we gotta fix them. Okay.
Bear with us.
What was the question again?
What did you then, studied at, I guess, like quite playfully? You were curious about what this program was about, and then you learned and you picked up the skills along the way. And what happened next? What happens next, basically, when you're like maybe a teenager, maybe a little later on? How did you sustain that passion and grew into a profession, basically?
That is a very interesting question. I mean, what happened after a while was I started actually growing an interest in film music specifically, and that led to me, at first, I'm not gonna say publishing my work, but like uploading it to YouTube and SoundCloud, and I started posting it on different websites and forums and Facebook groups, and eventually people kind of noticed, because I was always promoting it with the fact that I'm 12 years old, and that's also like I guess a little hook to people. And then when I was 12 or 13, some person from the US responded that they really like my music and they're working on this audio drama radio play, and if I'd be interested in joining it. It was a team of composers and work on this, and I said yes. It was not paid, which is fine. I was 12, but it was kind of like the first real feeling of, okay, people apart from my parents actually think it's cool what I'm doing. And yeah, that then led to me becoming obsessed with this whole thing, and start also becoming obsessed with this whole networking aspect, if you can call it networking at that time. But this type of reaching out to people in the industry, whether they're big or small, in the position that they're in, and just trying to connect with fellow creatives, directors, producers, and starting to build a network of people I would be able to work with, or later on work with. And I did that during high school. I often actually did it literally during high school, like on my phone during class. I would just text with some directors and get called out and screamed at by the teacher for being on my phone, which is fair from their point of view, but I was working on something bigger.
Love this.
And I don't know, it then kind of, I started also having this film composer, like the wording film composer as part of my personality. I started promoting it on Instagram and kind of going over, because it was very cringe at that time. You were like a 14-year-old. There were older people in your school. You were an easy target of bullying, especially if you were trying to be authentic. But I said, screw it, because we're on YouTube and this is for children. I said screw it with an F, and decided to just do it, and people just started getting used to it, and also teachers would know, oh, he's that guy who wants to be a film composer. And that kind of helped me being confident in wanting to become a film composer, because confidence is key to everything. And yeah, then after school, I'm trying not to forget your initial question, but then after school, I decided to just do it honestly, and here we are, a couple of years later.
Wow, I am so impressed by you. I mean, I said it before when we met. The courage and at school, knowing that you are really an easy target and still just going like, F that. Like, no, like, I don't care. That it's
Thank
so
you.
strongly there that you're like, I don't care what others think or say. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do it. I mean, that's very, very impressive. And I'm sure that one teacher had, or those teacher had no idea really what exactly you were doing. Were you reaching out to like directors only in German speaking countries, as you are in Austria, obviously, an Austrian composer? Or was it like Hollywood and just, you were just like, I don't care. Like,
Actually, I rarely reached out to people in
I
Austria.
love, yeah,
I
okay.
I almost exclusively texted people in
Cool.
the US. I texted. I mean, back then I also texted a lot of composers that I looked up to.
Wow.
Um, and some of them. The thing is, composers, especially back then, were not really famous,
Yeah.
even though they worked on big stuff. And so I could just Facebook message one of my favorite composers, and he would respond, and I could chat with him and be like, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that?" And some of them actually, for at least for some time, became my mentors, and sort of, when I had specific questions or needed some guidance, I could reach out. It didn't happen a lot. I was raised to be extremely independent, but I still appreciated the fact that I could reach out to some people, and sometimes I did. But no, I was always kind of reaching for the stars, and only started connecting with people around here when I was like 16, 17.
So old.
Yeah, no, I had my first couple gray hairs because of all the stress in school.
Oh my God. Okay, so then to the actual question that I had, but you started answering it, and that is really how you got your, into the industry, or, your foot into the door. And that
Right.
is this amazing way of networking, even at that young age, even though the teacher's going like, what are you doing on your phone? You're like, well, just reaching out to Hollywood, all good. Obviously.
Duh. I mean, what are you doing over there?
What are you doing over
Necessary,
there? You should do
yeah.
something better with your life, but all good.
Yeah. What? No. I want to say teachers are very important,
We
but
love them.
most of them need therapy, to be honest. Because I feel like it's one of the most important jobs out there,
They
because
do.
they're shaping the future. But a lot of them are just people with authority complexes, and they feel like they need to compensate something, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. And let's just go there because we're going there. And the problem is that they do not have any support. So they
That
have,
too.
I don't know how many kids a day, all that
Yeah.
noise and all that thing, and there's no support for them, which means
Yeah.
it is a lot, or most of them cannot handle it, which I fully understand.
I get both sides, yeah.
Yeah. So, loving to the teachers again. We're just joking here. We're not going to bash on them. We love you. We love you. But please tell us, because you told us about when you were like the networking. One of the things that you're doing is you're saying reaching out and stuff. But also you did it through the years. Like you didn't give up, and you were sending emails. You were talking about like 4 years or something until you were like really started maybe working with them. And can you tell us about that? Because I think that is the best example of, guys, if you want to enter this world, if you want to enter any world, any, profession, what Tobias did is that's the way. It really is. So yeah.
This is the way. If I could stand up, I would get my Mandalorian helmet.
You can't stand up. It's live.
No, because right now my hair looks somewhat fine with the headphones, and it's always a pain in the ass to get it to work, because otherwise, no, we're not going there.
We're not going there.
Fine.
It's not. It's gonna be the hair thing. We're not going to the hair thing. No.
Yeah, this is whole different topic. So your question was
the networking, the way you
persistency.
really entered the world, then that you've been talking about it, and also then you talked about your persistence. Like you are really So how did you do it? How were like the thin line between being annoying as hell and on the other hand being seen and not forget, like that people don't forget you?
Well, I mean, back when I actually started doing that, I didn't know what I was doing. I can now talk in retrospect and analyze my own behavior. So I have this thesis that I made up on my own. So it's nothing scientific at all. It's just what I think it is. But I feel like networking often is a test, or I treat it like a test, because imagine you're a producer or a director. Most of them have told me that, as a matter of fact, the most emails they get are from composers, not actors, not anything else, but composers. And I am now in a position where people reach out to me, or they start reaching out to me the way I reached out to others. So I now also understand the other side of things. But I feel like most people have at least once thought about going into this industry as one. Most of them wanted to be actors, because I feel like that's that's the most relatable to anybody who's watching a movie. I feel like every second or third person has had a thought of, oh, I want to do that, at least sometimes in their head. And then there's people who actually start pursuing it, but they don't. It's easy to just send an email. That's what I'm trying to say. It's easy to just reach out and say, hey, I want to be a composer. Hire me. And what I feel like is most people are able to sustain the first year. Some people are able to sustain and to survive the second year and still be motivated to do it. But if you get emails from the same dude or dudess a third year in a row, and they're still coming at you with, first of all, with newer stuff like, hey, I just finished this student project, or I just composed this for fun and I'm still interested in what you do, or hey, I just saw your latest release, great job, you want to meet? Because I've been asking for 3 years. I feel like after like 3 years, people are like, okay, either this dude or dudess is never gonna stop getting on my nerves, so I have to talk to them just to make him shut up, or they're actually like, they're serious about this, and I also should give them a shot, because they seem determined. And no matter what the reason is why they then respond to you and say, hey, listen, let's have a chat, this is the opportunity you get. And this is kind of I started embracing this rejection, because like I said earlier, if I write like 100 emails, I get 5 responses, and 4 of them are sorry, no, and 1 of them is sorry, not right now. And then you have to stick to the not right now person and follow up and make sure the not right now turns into, you know what, yeah, I got some time, let's chat. And the thing is, I've heard stories of people contacting studios every week. I've never been that type of person, because I feel like this is just too much and also a bit overstepping. But I would reach out like every couple of months, maybe 3 times a year, just saying, hey, I'm still alive, I just did this, I just saw what you posted, looks amazing, want to grab a coffee. And then I actually had moments where they said yes, and I didn't think it through, because they're like in a different country, and I had to book a train and a hotel to go there, buy them a coffee for €4, have a chat for 30 minutes, and go back the next day.
Amazing.
And the whole trip cost me like $500, because train rides are expensive as hell. And then maybe
to get
3
an
years
unpaid job most of the times, maybe.
no job at all at that time.
That's cool.
So just me hoping that I could get a job. And it's, you have to invest a lot of time and money actually to which is also why this being able to do this job is such a privileged thing. And there's also so many factors where I was just lucky that other people don't have. So this industry is really tough. if you don't have, a good foundation
support
already.
system right around you where you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, like parents who pay your rent or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I do upload your level of dedication because that means and shows.
Some people call it stupidity, but thank you. It's just
well, your path has shown that it definitely wasn't that, and also that in the end it paid off, and it is so. That's
it did,
that's the thing.
Yeah, no, I'm very. I do try to tell myself that I'm very lucky to be in the position where I'm at. That it was hard work, but also a lot of, like I said, happy coincidences throughout my life that led to other coincidences, and then I was just good enough to prove myself. So, like, I was prepared for the things that came. I always made sure that if anything ever happens, I am gonna be prepared, and it was just working towards a hypothetical scenario that eventually came true in one way or another.
That sounds amazing. And it's definitely dedication. I mean, dedication and a little bit of maybe like you have to be
delusion.
Yeah, you have to be. Otherwise, then you wouldn't.
No, it's like psychotic delusion at some point.
You won't sustain it if you don't have a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yes.
But you also need a great therapist, and if she watches this, thank you for where's the camera? Thank you for being my therapist.
Thank you for being his therapist.
Yeah,
you did a great job.
Amazing job.
Yeah, I think if obviously there isn't a magic formula, but from what you said to us, I think there are like two things that are pretty clear. The one is that you have to keep your passion alive, and you have to keep growing and make new stuff, like keep creating. Like, and second one, if you're reaching to someone, then you have to have a context. Like, it's not only about you, but also about them, their projects, the stuff that they're doing, and they have to have a clear understanding why it's you reaching to them. So
100%,
that it's not just a random cold email to anyone with the same, like a template thing. That's very important because people can sense it.
Yeah, please, to anyone watching, please double check whatever you're like. I've had people reach out to me on LinkedIn introducing themselves, and I was like, dude, we know each other. We met.
Wow.
Come on. Like, I appreciate you reaching out, but I know who you are. And also if you're, excuse me, especially nowadays where people tend to use AI, ChatGPT to write their emails, for the love of whatever God you believe in or whatever you believe in, double check it and make sure to have the name in brackets, just write the actual name or write the emails yourself. Because it's not that hard.
Name and brackets. Oh my god.
No, it's the
I know.
worst. It's
like
the
insert
worst.
name.
Insert
hello name. Like,
hi
Jesus
name.
Christ.
It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah.
This good you're saying that, because yes, it can happen. And you guys, we're talking about AI. Nothing against using it. I use it all the time, but you cannot allow it to think for you. You cannot allow it to create for you, and you can't not even allow it to write a simple email for you. You have to double check, read it again, and make sure that this is you and your voice. It should just be your assistant and not, taking over. And that's the most important thing when you're using AI. So yeah, please do not leave the insert name in there.
Yeah, and also there is the other one, like to whom it may concern. Like that's also kind of like
just don't write an email then, because it doesn't concern me if you address me like that.
Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't
concerning him.
Moving forward with the questions, I want to ask you like a practical one. Bringing a film to life from music, that is quite a special thing, quite a special skill. How do you approach that? What comes first? Do you see the finished project? Do you start with the screenplay? Do you talk to director? What's the usual, process behind it?
There is no usual process behind it, because it very much depends on the people you work with. I recall the very first like fictional television show I did was because they decided 3 or 4 weeks before it went on air that they needed a composer, and they were like, hey, I know this is very last minute, but can you score this? And I was like, hey, sure. Why the hell aren't you, like, what were you, okay? And then I kind of had to, I received the finished picture, or most of it, because it was 8 episodes, each were like 20 minutes long, so it was doable. My preferred way of working is being attached to the project in pre-production already, or at least talking about it, because then you can, if you have the music before they start shooting, they can also, the director knows the vibe that I'm going to bring to the table, and it's much more of a collaboration then, because for example, I worked on a TV show, a German television production called Schwarzes Gold, Black Gold in English. And it was a project I did. I wasn't the composer. I worked for Hans Zimmer and Alexei Gudisman. And we started writing and recording music 7 or 8 months before production started. We were starting before the scripts were finished, because the producer and the composers were good friends, and they were like Hans and Alexei were the first people attached to this. And what they then did was they had our music already, and they also played it for the actors and sent it to the actors, so they knew what kind of vibe we're gonna have in the show.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's also very rare. So,
I know, but I, as an actor, that would be the dream. That is the dream.
It was amazing, because we also you could see our, I mean, maybe this is a bit arrogant to say, and maybe I'm just telling myself this, but you could really feel that they knew the music we were writing, because of the visuals we received were just, they fit like a glove. But then also there's, like I said, most productions I'm being asked before they start shooting, and I get to read the scripts oftentimes, like I did on Kommissar Rex. But the actual work usually starts when the first, at least the very first rough cut exists. Yeah, but it's always so different. Everybody has their own way of working and their own preferred way of working, and you just gotta adapt to whoever is in front of you.
Can we just for 1 second go back to Hans Zimmer? Just
No, I'm just kidding. This is about me, no,
it's about you. I know.
Yeah.
So how was it for you to work with him? And how did that come about? I mean,
insane. There's a good word, a very humble word to describe it. It's I mean, Hans is Hans.
Yeah.
Hans is like, I feel like even if you're not into film music, you know his name, at least from all the posters around whatever city you live in, because he's touring the world 24/7. That being said, he was never really in the room with us, because he was literally on tour, but we would FaceTime with him and send him everything we did, and he would give us feedback and tell us, hey, use this melody, write it like that. So it was the Alexei Gudisman and Hans Zimmer were the main composers. I am the way I got into it is I'm friends with Alexei. I've worked with Alexei for years. And he just one day asked me, hey man, I'm doing a show with Hans, do you wanna join? And I'm like,
you're like, no.
Nah, I was like, dude, I mean, are you, like, what kind of a question?
Exactly. Like, are you
like,
really
I was
asking
just
me? Like,
Gen Z staring at him like, dude, I mean, yeah. So we started working on it, jump cut to us working on it. And yeah, no, it was a very informative job. I learned a lot, but not in the way I thought I would. I didn't learn a lot of technical stuff, but I learned to kind of rewire my brain and just have a very new approach on scoring films. which is very interesting, and it was very helpful on Rex actually. So to conclude your question, or my response to your question, because of my little ADHD brain drifting off 24/7, it was great.
It was great. But let's go to Kommissar Rex. I mean, it's Kommissar
Sure.
Rex. I mean,
It's Kommissar Rex.
Kommissar Rex. Like, we all know it. Like, even in Iceland, it was playing on the TV.
Even in Russia,
Iceland,
come on.
I forgot about that.
Even in Iceland, I was like, my grandpa had something on. It was like Kommissar Rex, and I could hear some German words that I wasn't able to speak at that time German. Obviously, I didn't know it. Even in Russia, Valeria was like, I know Kommissar Rex. We were like, it's all over.
I
like,
love that. I grew up with
she
it.
grew up with it. So that's
it
I mean, it's a
was pretty big,
huge cop series. It's really well known all over the world. And are you the main composer on that one?
Yes, I am the composer.
You are the... Okay, now we're in with you. Hello. Can we just for one moment? Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Cool.
It's like, And you just said it informed working with Hans, and that is the beauty, collaborating with others, working with others. It was you take with you. So how was it working on Kommissar Rex? Obviously, I assume you knew it. You knew off it, I assume. Was that right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. How was it
hard
for
not
you?
to.
Did you know exactly, like, okay, I know exactly how I'm gonna tackle this, what I'm gonna do here, or how was that
Yeah.
work?
No, it was when I got the job, or when I got the call that I might get the job, I knew the show, the original show. I've never actively watched it because I'm too young.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being on television when I was at my grandma's place, or also there are some spots around the city that are very proud of being a former filming location of the original series. So you would see like little posters like Kommissar Rex was shot here.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's everywhere. But I only actively started watching the original show in preparation of our version, I guess. And it was extremely difficult not to use the themes from Gerd Schuller.
Mm-hmm.
But I was specific. I wanted to, but I was specifically asked not to. They wanted to have something new, something fresh, something new. Yeah. And it was. I actually had a bit of a discussion. Sounds negative, but like a creative talk that it might be very cool to include just for the first film at the end, to have like the original theme in there. But after some back and forth and talking, I understood why they don't want that, because they don't even now, if you look at social media and everyone watching it, because there's a lot of people watching it, they draw comparisons to the original show, which makes sense.
Of course they
and
do.
I'm not blaming anybody for it. But if we are already with because there's the very famous theme song from the intro, and we covered that. So that was kind of our way of giving back to the original and respecting the original, but just with a new singer, with everything was played new. The orchestra was freshly recorded, the drums, the guitars, everything was freshly recorded and mixed, to make it kind of like our version. But then the score is just me. Well, me and my team. I had a lot of people helping me because of time issues. But there was a very conscious decision to stay away from what was and to bring it into our zeitgeist. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. I'm impressed.
I'm
Yes,
so
you
glad.
did. Thank you.
So glad.
Yeah. Can you excuse me? I want to take us back, because you cannot drop the bomb of like the process of working on that, previous project, rewired your brain, and then you have to tell.
And then you're like, and it was good. Thank you. Bye.
It was good, and like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, do tell. Like, obviously, like maybe there is some information that you want to keep to yourself, but yeah, what can you share
I'm
How
no,
did
I'm not really a gatekeeper. So feel free to ask. Well, I mean, the thing I learned most was we worked a lot in pre-production. I grew up. Here's the thing. I've never had the chance to be an assistant for anybody. I asked a lot of times, but most people, like everyone around me, always got chances to write additional music for this Hollywood composer and be an assistant to this Hollywood composer or semi-Hollywood composer. And whenever I asked someone, they would tell me no in a very politically correct way, but it was a politically correct screw off. Which is fine, and I'm very grateful now in retrospect because that forced me to do my own gigs. But that also meant that I didn't really learn the things you learn as an assistant. I had to find my own workflows. I had to find my own way of just doing the job. And one of those ways was that I usually started writing music when I received picture because I always struggled. For example, a lot of people like to send me scripts and I hate reading scripts, not because I'm lazy, partly because I'm lazy, but also because when you read a script, you imagine the film in your head and you make up the coolest stuff and then you receive picture and it's completely different. Neither in a good or bad way, but it's just different. And everything you decided that is gonna work goes down the drain because it just doesn't work. And when I worked on Black Gold, like I said, we started composing, producing, and also recording the music half a year before production started. We didn't even have finished scripts. And that then showed me the efficiency of what that can bring because you have a toolbox of themes, of sometimes even finished music that you can just put to picture. And sometimes, not always, not often actually, but sometimes you just drag and drop the music there and it fit like a glove. And you were like, scene is scored, move on to the next one. And you just saved like a day of work. So that was one thing that was just new to me, honestly. Or reusing older stuff. Whenever I composed a theme, I would always write it from scratch, arrange it from scratch to the picture. And on Black Gold, we usually did that, but sometimes due to timing issues, we couldn't do that. And then we just said, okay, let's use the stems, the individual instrument groups from this recording, just put it there and see what happens. And this whole see what happens, and I think the most important quote that I really engraved into my brain is, there is no. We try everything, even if it sounds like the most idiotic idea you've ever heard. We try it. Worst that can happen is doesn't work. And that really led to incredible moments in the studio. And now I'm trying to do the same. Also, on Rex, for example, I had an assistant. I was very lucky to have one. And I remember him having an idea, and my initial reaction was going to be no. And then I thought, you know what? Yeah, let's try it. And then it was great. It was a great idea. It worked. And I was like, okay, maybe the whole Hans gig did teach me a lot. And so it's more, I think once again to respond to your question, the thing I took away is to be more open-minded about external ideas, and just see what happens, and be more open-minded.
Love it. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a great way of seeing things. A side question to that, as a director, I've never actually worked with a composer because, never got a chance to score my short films.
Well, here I am, he said. Valeria, did you hear that?
Here he is. the question is, like, did you come across directors who they just don't know what they want musically, and how does this work all the time? Yeah. So they just leave it to you, or how does this collaboration then work?
No, actually, I just talked without thinking. I take it back. That was a lie. They often know what they want, but the bigger issue is they don't know how to tell you what they want.
Communicate.
And I even had directors come to me and tell me that they often don't like working with composers because they're intimidated of they're scared of talking about music, which I understand, because music is such a, like, if I know a thing or two about directing, and I know a thing or two about color grading, and I know a thing or two about sound design, camera work, acting, whatever, maybe because I grew up in this environment, but also because I'm just interested in it. But music, and I get that, is something completely different, and this is not something you can just, or for people who have no, I don't want to say talent, but who have no relationship to music outside from consuming it, it can be extremely difficult. I once had a producer who asked me to make the cue that I was working on sound more like Mamma Mia from ABBA. And it took me 8 revisions to find out all she wanted was a xylophone.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? and then at some point she was just like, this instrument, do you hear it? And I'm like, the xylophone, yeah, I hear it. Is that what you want?
That's Mamma Mia.
Like, yeah, that's.
Okay.
But this is the reality, and you often you really have to. I think that the biggest challenge often is, but to me it's the most interesting part, is reading the people you're working with. You have to understand, because if a director comes to me and they're like, make it more epic, what the hell does that mean? What does epic mean to you? Do you want a bigger orchestra? Do you want a louder piano? I don't know. So you have to then talk to them to find out, hey, first of all, what kind of music do you listen to? What kind of instruments do you like? Which instruments do you hate? Because if the person hates piano, no matter how good of a composer you are, they're going to hate whatever you compose for the piano. So to go back to your question.
So funny you said piano, because immediately when you say what instrument do they love, and I immediately had the piano in my head because I love it. I
get it. Me too.
I
but
adore
trust
the piano.
me, there's people who hate it. And I also understand that.
Okay.
But
you do you
no
do
judgment.
you.
We don't understand, but we don't judge.
You do you. It's okay.
No, it's
hating on poor piano.
I don't think they hate the sound of it, but it's such a stereotypical instrument by now. I get it. But like I said, anyway, that was off topic. Your question was
answered.
What?
Yeah, I like you're answering it perfectly. And I guess, it's drawing parallels. If there is a discipline in the film school, directing actors, right? So it's the same. To tell you, make it more epic, it's the same if I tell the actor, make it more angry. It tells the actor nothing, or just giving the adjectives. What's angry? Like, how do you play it? Like that tells you nothing about the way how you imagine this thing, how you imagine, this interaction. So yeah, you have to be a great psychologist, I guess,
honestly, to a certain point, yeah. And I'm also, within my friend circles, I like to be like the therapy friend, the therapist friend, actually, where I just like to listen to other people's minds and their problems and learn about them. This sounds very manipulative. I don't mean it that way, but I'm just interested in getting to know people, which is also ironic because I'm an introvert. But no, I think it's the most interesting part of the job, to be honest, to read people and to understand them.
I think that is the beauty of arts, particularly the film industry and what we're in, because you know
100%.
you are confronted with that every day, and if you don't like it, then
yeah, you might want to.
You might want to do something else. It's a different one, but
because if you're in it for the money, boy, do I have news for you.
Yeah, we all don't do it. Just don't. Just forget it. If it's for the money, like, so sorry. I hate to, burst that bubble, but no. But what are your like future projects? What is your dream for the future? Do you have anything there? Are you?
That's a good question. I mean, I used to say that my goal is to make a living from film music. My dream is to go to Hollywood. Now I've reached my goal, so I need a new one. I think I mean, when I say Hollywood, I don't even mean it geographically. I mean it like just the. And also, to be honest, I'm not eager to be a Hollywood composer anymore. I would love to become one, but I'm trying more and more to be grateful for the things I have, because especially when I was younger, I was very like, oh, I want to do the next Star Wars film or the next, I don't know, whatever big budget AAA blockbuster. Yeah,
talking about
Dune,
Epic.
for example.
That is the first thing that came up in my mind.
Talking about Epic, yeah. It's funny you say that, because I was gonna say Dune too, and then I was like, it's too close to Star Wars. I need something else. But I think my goal or dream is to just stay happy with the projects I'm doing. I'm a person, I need a lot of variation. I don't see myself doing police shows for the next 20 years, because I just know I'll get sick of it eventually. Right now I'm good. Right now I'm enjoying it. I love the projects. I'm very grateful. But what I love about this job is that sometimes you do like little commercials where you do finger snap jingles with a ukulele and some whispers, and then you do super dark and gritty psycho thrillers with kidnapping and like the kind of not necessarily the type of films you watch for good vibes, and then you do horror, and then you do action, and it's just the variation is kind of the key to that keeps me interested in this whole thing, which is also why I started producing music for artists on the side as a hobby, to be honest. Because what I noticed quite early on is that once you make your hobby a profession, there will be times where you lose your passion for it, because there's just, you don't always get to do what you love, because you got to pay the bills somehow. And I then started to do like fun projects for free with other artists, and I'm trying to spend some time doing this as well to keep my passion alive for music, because like I said, sometimes it's just hard to still be grateful for all of this, which sounds entitled again, but it's just the reality of things.
It's beautiful.
No, it's very real. I think once you like, especially you started very early on, but when you're kind of like dreaming about your hobby being a profession, and once you kind of made that transition happen, soon you realize that it's work. Yes, you love it, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and inspiration is not even part of the game. You have to like self-discipline yourself into doing it daily basis. So yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
100%.
No, it's and also you have to. I think it's always so. Sometimes I really have, like on Black Gold, for example. I mean, let's take Hans out of the equation. Even Alexi, I was a fan of Alexi. I knew Alexi from very early on. I knew who he was. And then I was sitting in his freaking living room talking about our projects and getting drunk with him. And then Hans was, this sounded in a
good way. This is a good way. Yeah. Good thing.
Just casual friends hanging out like with others from the team as well. But like, and then you I mean, when we first met, I do remember that he threw a party and I was quite intoxicated. And I went to the bathroom, and back then I still used Snapchat, and I sent a snap, batshit drunk, to my friends like, guys, I'm at a party from a Hollywood composer. This dude just called Hans and mentioned me, and I have no idea what the hell is going on in my life, but I love it. And my friends were like, the next morning, because it was like 3 a.m., they were like, dude, what the hell? Like, I don't know. I don't even remember sending you this, but it's real. And so when it starts to become normal, because working on a project like this goes on for, in our case, years, it becomes normal to you. And sometimes there were days where I was just fed up. And those are the days where I would really stand in front of the mirror or just look at old pictures of myself and just browse through my photo gallery on my phone to see where I was, and then to kind of, I had to tell myself, dude, this is insane. This is like, if you told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. And it just went over, like, this whole thing, even though I was working so hard to go there, and it was such a tough journey, it's still the change in being a complete nobody to being like a very, very busy composer. It happened very quick. And there was a time where I was, I took it for granted, and I learned not to do that. So
This, Tobias, this has been amazing. I think we could talk to you forever, but I know your time is very precious.
How long is it?
It's amazing. And I think what I'm taking out of all of this is, here we have you, and you are lucky enough, obviously talented enough, have worked your ass off for this, to be living the dream, at the same time very grounded. And you made sure when you started flying off that you would ground yourself again. And I love the way you did it, in a sense of looking at pictures and going like, this is where I came from. And I am very thankful for where I am. So I think that's amazing that you're not losing that perspective, because I believe that is a very important part of being authentic. If you want to use the word authentic, people don't like it, but I'm going to use it in the arts.
I love it. No. I love authenticity.
Yeah.
That's
in the
important.
arts, and be authentic to your own work and grounded. And then fly in between, hey, and be as drunk as whatever. And
yes, that's what I meant when I said I tend to overshare in moments where I maybe shouldn't.
And we love it.
We love it. We love it. We love it. This has been the most.
This is gonna be telling me what the hell.
This is gonna have been the most. I don't know. I have not laughed for so long, so hard with an interview. This is amazing talking to you. Thank you. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.